Hey there, good afternoon. I have been asked many questions about this yatra that I have announced on my Instagram, my YouTube channel, and Facebook. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it. I listed it as a Shakti Yatra or an Adi Shakti Yatra. There are 4 old places of worship where they've worshipped the mother goddess, Shakti, in different forms, and they're uh, most of them have had worship going on time immemorial. There's not really a date, but at Kamakya they'll tell. Sometimes people will tell you 10,000 years. There are several different stories. Often, if you're in India, you know that there's always some kind of a variance in the stories. One gets longer, one gets shorter. But these 4 places were the first ones called Shaktipitam. Kamakya, which is in Guwahati, Assam. Kalighat, which is in Calcutta. Calcutta's name actually comes from the name of the temple, Kalighat, the bath of Kali. Kalikata is bathing Kali. Tarapet, which is a short ride away from Calcutta. And the little town that it is now mostly called Tarapet. Mother Tara is worshipped there. And Vimala Devi is the other oldest one. Vimala Devi is now in the middle of Jagannath Puri. It used to be just a Shakta center, and it still has Shakta Tantra practices going on. But it's not as well known as it used to be. But Vimala Devi's in Odisha. It's too far away. So we're going to go to 3 of the places. It started out as a trip to Kamakya that some people were interested in, and then we decided to include a little bit more because it's not too expensive to travel between Assam, Guwahati, Assam, and Calcutta. It's not a long travel either. It's only an hour flight. So 3 of them are Sati Peets, pieces of Sati's body. If you know the story of Shiva and Sati, which I have told before several times, you can Google it, or I will make another video if people are interested talking about it. So Kamakya has the yoni. Kalighat has her right toes. Vimla Devi has, I can't remember, but we're not going there, so it doesn't matter. Tarapet is not a Satipet, it is a Shaktipet. And if you look at some lists, they will tell that her third eye is there, but it's not true. Bengali people consider that it's a Satipet and a Shaktipet are 2 separate things, even though most of the Shaktipets are Satipets. Now, that's a little bit of a tongue twister, but that's the story. So, I do sadhana. I go to Kamakya usually once a year. I missed this last year because of timing, and I was going to Europe to teach and didn't have the money to go before I left. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to go there. We're going to have a homa done. A homa is a fire ceremony. You can also just call it a puja. It's a fire ceremony that invokes the goddess in that form and asks for her blessings. Now, if you have special or specific things you want to request, you are able to do that. And then we're going to stay at a hotel very near the main temple. And I'm going to teach you a little bit of how to do a sadhana there. Sadhana meaning a deep spiritual practice, using a mantra, sometimes it uses visualizations. We're going to stick with mantra work so that you get the most out of the energy there, because Kamakya is a very strong energetic place. I mean, it's hard to explain to people unless they've been there. When you go there, you feel it. So if you have a mantra that is invoking her in a certain way, it takes that energy into your body and unlocks the parts of your being that allow the energy to flow through you, and you get more benefit out of being there and having had done that. So that's going to be something that I hope, if everyone agrees, we're going to do it nightly. There are also the 10 Dasha Mahavidyas. 10 Dasha is the same word. I shouldn't have said 10 Dasha Maha. Dasha Mahavidyas, temples all around. 3 are in the main temple with the Yoni. 1 of them is the Yoni. 7 of them are separated, so we're going to take another time and go all around to those different temples. And we can also do sadhana in each temple, if people want to. Sorry, I smudged my tilak. Then we're going to take a third day and go out into the town to the Bhairava temple that is on an island called Umananda. Bhairava always has to be where there's a Shakti Peeth, because Shakti is a hurricane. Think of the wind and the water that are the destructive force, and the center, the eye of the storm, is very calm, very peaceful. That is the stambhana, the center, has to be Shiva, but it's so strong at these Shakti Peeths, it has to be Bhairava, a fierce form of Shiva. So we'll visit that temple, and there's an Ugratara temple in town. There's a really beautiful Navagraha temple in town, and there are a few other things other places we can go also. Also, the Smashana is quite powerful, the cremation grounds for Kamakya. So if people are interested, we'll go there. I'm not going to set a hard and fast schedule. I have a general idea of what we're going to do. And if people have I want people to have input, and we will be able to adapt it or change it or help them do the thing if they want to do it on their own. And we can do the other thing. But I want it to be a flow, and an adaptable flow that we can all enjoy and get some benefits out of. Then, after we're done there, we'll be there 4 or 5 days, probably 5, because the first day will arrive, then the last day we'll leave, so it's probably 5 days. Then we'll have 3 full days in the middle. And we're going to fly to Calcutta. Calcutta, we're going to come down and stay in a hotel near Kalighat Temple. Kalighat is where the big toes are, or the toes of the right foot, not just the big toes, all of the toes of the right foot. And it is considered one of the most powerful Kali temples on the planet, and has a lot of strong energy at it. I have never been, but I've had friends who go regularly and who have told me that it is very intense, that it can arouse a lot of your emotions, but it's meant to do that so that you can clear out the blocks in your energy field. This stuff is all about energetics. It's all about energy and flowing the energy in yourself, because you have to realize that the God is not just outside you, it is inside you. And if you can get it flowing through you, you will have a more full and bigger life. We'll be there. I have a friend who's going to help us go around to a few places, and he has a Bagalamukhi temple also near there. We're going to go to that. Next day, we can probably take daily darshan at Kalighat if we all like it. It's not impossible. There's a shorter line that costs a little bit more, and there's a longer line that's free. So it's very easily accessible, and the lines are not so long. At Kamakya, the lines get really long. You can wait for hours. Even if you pay the amount, you're still going to wait at least an hour. Tarapeeth, it's the same. Maybe Kalighat doesn't have the separate price. I don't know. I have to check on that. But Tarapeeth does. It has a 500 rupee line that's very quick. Gets you in there, and you get to have a quiet, peaceful, and a lengthier darshan. If you're in the free line, you have to wait a long time, 35 to 45 minutes, I'm told. And then you kind of get pushed past the door. You don't get to go in and have a peaceful darshan and sit. So we're going to take the option to sit, I think, because I like to do that. And hopefully, when we're there, we'll get to be there more than one time. We're going to go to a few other temples around Calcutta also, maybe not that same day, but one of the days, maybe the next day. There's a Krishna Kali temple where Krishna and Kali are worshipped in one murti. Krishna and Kali in West Bengal are treated as brother and sister. They are not treated as separate things. They are treated as both are dark, both have the same energy, and they use it in different ways. So it's a very kind of a beautiful experience. And there's so many Kali temples and Durga temples around Calcutta. We should be able to very well keep ourselves occupied. Second or third day, probably the third day, we'll arrive one day, and the next day we'll do some things in town. Then the third day we can go to, we'll take the train to Tadapet. If you take the Vande Bharat train, it's about 40 minutes to get there. If you take the regular train, it's about 2 hours. We'll be there, we'll get darshan. There is hotels there. We're going to spend the night because the cremation grounds, the smashana, is famous there. So we can be there after dark at night and get some of the tantric experience. And within the district that Tadapet is in, there are 4 more Shakti Peeths around there. So that's going to be an option for us to go to one of the days. You know, they're not terribly far apart, I'm told. We'll have to see, because, you know, sometimes in India, something that's not so far apart takes a long time travel. That will be something I have to discuss with my friend who lives there, and we can figure it out. But we're going to have a car to take us if we need to, or a rickshaw, whatever we decide. There is also a temple called Guya Kali that is in Akalipur, which is about an hour from Tadapet, that I have gotten a little bit obsessed with because it has a reputation for being a tantric. A lot of tantric practices go on there, an old tantric center. It's old, I'm told. You know, the general knowledge is that it's an ancient temple. But I cannot find or meet anyone who has any information about a Guya Kali tantric practice. There's one book I found that had some Guya Kali references in it. A few mantras were referenced, a few ideas of sadhana, but there's never any guru I have met or any teacher who has known these mantras, who has done anything, and I'm curious about that. I'm told also that it's possible, if you have someone who speaks the language, because I don't think he speaks English, the priest that's there, and you can see on YouTube some videos of the Guya Kali in Akalipur, can give mantras also. So that is someplace I really want to go. I've been curious about it for a long time, and it's only an hour from Tadapet. After we're finished there, we could spend some time. We can then come back to Tadapet and take the train back to Calcutta and be in Calcutta. And then from Calcutta, we might have one extra day. We can do whatever you like. We're going to have a little bit of open space for that. So if we liked a lot of the places, we can go back to those places. Say we liked some great restaurants, we can go back and eat at those great restaurants again. We can go to Kalighat again. We can stay at Tadapet a little bit longer. I'm leaving it open because I want everyone to have input so that we know what we like and we can get our biggest experience from it. That's what I really want. Shakti means power. It means energy. It doesn't necessarily mean divine feminine like everyone translated. It means energy, it means power. When you're going to these places, when you leave, you want to have a surplus of Shakti because you are there to absorb some of it, to get a taste of it, to feel what it feels like, and take it with you. And if you have some mantras from different places, and I have several different Kali mantras we can do at the Kali temples also in Calcutta, you will be able to achieve a bigger amount of Shakti intake. And they also, with the Bija mantras in them, they also clear out blockages so more space can handle more Shakti. More space is there to handle more Shakti. So it's a beautiful practice. But I want this to be about sadhana. I want people to understand that these things are done so that we can realize the oneness of God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. God is everything within ourselves. And I want people to have these experiences so they feel that. At some point, I want to take people to Varanasi, which I call Kashi. Kashi is the old name, because Kashi has a whole different type of energy. This is my first one. So if it does really well, I'm going to take people to other places. I'll take people back to these same places because I love them and I want to go to them. Kamakia is kind of a home, one of my homes that I love to be at. So if I go there twice a year, I would be perfectly happy with it. There's also places like this around Mysore. So I lead tours around Mysore to all the little Shakti temples because I want people to understand that it's everywhere. And these temples become a center where the Shakti gets, the prana, you want to call it prana, you can call it prana, gets collected. And then it's more accessible to the general public. So this is why I take people to tours, not just Shakti temples, goddess Devi temples. I take them to Hanuman temples, to Shiva temples, to wherever you want to go around here, because there are some strong places here. So hopefully it becomes a bigger thing, and eventually I might, if I get enough Ashtanga people regularly going on these things, maybe we'll have a morning program where we do our practice and then we take part in the local temples. So that's just an idea. So that's just a general overall of what's going to happen. So I'm going to be involved in guiding you through all the places. I'm going to be involved in helping you figure out a sadhana to do. Each place has the option to have pujas done too, so I'm there to help you. And I have my friend in Calcutta who can help us figure out who wants it, who doesn't want it, and you can get those things done also. Everything is possible. We just have to be open to allowing everything to flow through us, and that's exciting to me. Okay, so there you go. I will talk to you again soon, and this was longer than I meant for it to be, but fuck it, that's okay. Have a good day.